Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we got another signing here, this time for the Ottawa Redblacks, as Jake Maier signs in Ottawa because they decided they didn't have enough quarterbacks already. And it looks like I'm interested to see where Jake Maier ends up here. As Jake Maier started, he's been in the CFL since 2021 with the Stampeders for a bit. And then, of course, it was in, I think, 2023 where they had moved on from Bo Levi Mitchell. Bo Levi Mitchell goes to the Ticats. Jake Maier gets 2 years as a starter in the CFL, in which in those 2 years, 2023 and 2024, he had 4,244 passing yards in 2023, 19 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. So he was in the green. And then the next year, 3,841 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Despite that, though, he couldn't stay as a starter and went over to Saskatchewan as a backup, to which he had 617 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions as a backup this year for Trevor Harris. He will go over to the Ottawa Redblacks. Now, for starters, Rick, do we know the length or anything regarding this deal?
Yes, so it's a 1-year deal for Jake Maier.
1-year deal, Jake Maier, and we don't know the amount of money, do we?
No.
So he was ranked as the top pending free agent quarterback going into the communication window. This by Justin Dunk of 3 Down Nation. And so even if we just kind of look at what they have here on 3 Down, Maier dressed all 18 regular season games for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 2025 as a backup of Trevor Harris. He completed 64.3% of his passes for 617 yards, as I mentioned before. Jake Maier is 6 feet, 200 pounds. Quarterback, and produced a 1-1 win-loss record in his 2 starts, though it's worth noting he did not finish his Week 20 start against Winnipeg as Jack Cohen entered in the 4th quarter of that game. Now, if we take a look at Jake Maier, he had went to college. He had played 2 different places. He played at Long Beach in JUCO in 2016, to which he had 3,689 passing yards, had 38 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, did extremely well there. Then played for California Davis in FCS for the next 3 years. And in that last year, if we look at it kind of his senior year, he played 12 games, 12 starts, 3,563 passing yards. He had 28 touchdowns for 13 interceptions. So did very, very well in college, which is what brought him to the Stampeders. And then, of course, had his last year in Saskatchewan. I think there's more of an opportunity for him in Ottawa to potentially get that starting spot. I think that because obviously Dustin Crum leaves Ottawa and goes to the Alouettes, it looks like, as of right now. And so it looks like it'll be Drew Brown, Jake Maier. I don't know who Dinwiddie's going to kind of put the preference on of those two. I think both of them kind of have a roughly equal chance, but this might be a situation where they kind of give Drew Brown the try, or, see who does better in the preseason, who knows. But if they get an instance that it's slipping up, they may go to their other quarterback. They may go to Jake Maier for that. Or potentially they start with Maier and then maybe they go to Brown. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to look like over in Ottawa. I think that's one reason why this is a 1-year deal for Maier, is to potentially kind of see what kind of a role that he can get over with the Redblacks.
If I remember correctly, at his press conference, now this is before Jake Maier signed with the team.
At his press conference, who is he?
Ryan Dinwiddie.
Yep.
He said that at that time, Drew Brown was going to be the starter. Because, I'm sorry, even if Jake Maier comes in and starts, how are you paying your starting quarterback over $400,000 to sit on the bench?
Yeah.
However, I will say that there is a however. I'm going to say that by the end of the season, Drew Brown would have been injured and Jake Maier would have been starting the second half of the season.
Yeah. So what do you think of like if you're the Redblacks, is this the guy you sign?
I I mean, him or Taylor Powell.
That's fair. Well, I
I would have.
mean,
I would have
and
said.
then well, they couldn't do that, Rick, because that got in the way of that 1-to-1 1-for-1 trade. Taylor Powell for Trey Ford.
I mean, Trey Ford was coming to Hamilton regardless where Trey Ford or Taylor Powell was going.
Yeah, well, no, that's true because I mean, based on the three options that Trey Ford got,
I'm sure. I'm
Hamilton
sure
was the only
Jake
one with an
Maier.
Asian QB where he could potentially slide in.
I'm sure Jake Maier would have gone to Edmonton had Edmonton, given him an offer. I don't know if they did or not, but I'm sure
Potentially, I
if
don't know.
Taylor Powell didn't go to Edmonton, I'm sure Jake Maier would have.
Yeah, no, and I do think that Mayer, the thing that sets Mayer as he was kind of that top QB available in free agency over a guy like Powell was simply a matter of Mayer has that a little bit of experience as a starter. You know what I mean? Not necessarily saying that what he did as a starter is everything you want, or it was half like bad or whatever. It's more one of those things where at least it's not unfamiliar to him. You know what I mean? You're not putting if you put him at starter, you're not putting a player in a position that hasn't already been in. He played 2 years as a starter. And so I think there's potential for Jake Maier to get in there. I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm curious to see if a guy like what will ever happen with a guy like Arbuckle, as it looks like Chad Kelly will probably be the starter over in Toronto. But that's kind of a bit of the quarterback situation. Guys moving all over the place. So we'll have to see kind of how this goes. But I think that's pretty much all I had. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord, where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff, as well as currently the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll see you guys next time.